Hello, nieces and nieces. How are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista, and over here we do mainly things fragrance, whether it's body or home. And today we're going to talk fragrance. I have the video, as you saw, titled The Only Four You Need. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about the only four fragrances you need, please stay tuned. The only four you need based off of Nisa's opinion. This is just my subjective opinion. These four fragrances are fragrances that I have in my collection, and two of these fragrances I have bought multiple bottles of. So why not? I know that I really like this fragrance, whether it's an older fragrance or it's relatively new, because I've used a bottle and I'm working on the next number. So the first fragrance, we're going to start with the season winter. Since when we enter into a new year, which is January, here we are now, we are currently in the season winter. So if you are living in a region in the U.S. where you experience, whether it's extreme or moderate, 4 different seasons, this would be for you. So starting with January and winter, this is the fragrance that I would select to be my only fragrance for the winter months. This is Libre Le Parfum by YSL. This is the third from this line. There are 2 in front of this one and 1 behind it. This is my favorite one out of the entire collection. This fragrance definitely reminds me of winter. And when I think of winter, winter is the time of the year that you see bearless trees and bright blue skies. You can smell the cold crispiness in the air, and oftentimes you can even smell the vegetation surrounding. Like around my home, I have a lot of pine trees, and as soon as I walk into my garage, I smell that thick, syrupy pine resin fragrance. These are also times that remind me of cuddle weather. It reminds me of cuddle items such as beautiful fluffy sweaters, scarves, and or blankets. So this fragrance, you guys, it has fragrance notes of ginger, saffron, mandarin, bergamot, orange blossom, lavender, bourbon, vanilla, honey, tonka bean, and vetiver. This fragrance was included in a polling that I put on my community tab, asking some of my supporters which fragrance would they wear to a friend or couple's Christmas party, and this fragrance won with over 50% of the votes. So you guys, this is not only a favorite for myself, but I can see that it is a favorite for some of the Nistas here in Nistas Nation. This fragrance is definitely a staple in my collection right now, and speaking right now about it, I would like this to be a forever fragrance in my collection because this is the second bottle that I purchased. I'm not really sure if I remember if this was a love at first sniff. I just don't remember, but I do know that this is a favorite because this is bottle number 2. And this fragrance has only been out maybe a year and a half, but it is so beautiful. This is definitely a I wouldn't even say it's a vanilla forward. The dominant fragrance note that I get in here is actually 2 of them. It is the orange blossom and the lavender. So if you know scents, even if you're not a perfume person, you definitely can smell the orange and you can smell the lavender. However, there are some other fragrance notes in here that I truly like, and it is the saffron and the honey mixed in with the tonka. It is just a beautiful fragrance. I would be confident in wearing this fragrance if I could only pick one to any occasion during the winter months. So again, this is Libre Le Parfum by YSL. All right, so moving on into spring, the fragrance that I would select if I could only pick one out of my collection, and this fragrance hands down, it's the fragrance that I have mentioned several times here on the channel, that if I had to let go of everything in my collection and they say you can only have one, this is the one that I would choose with no questions. And this fragrance, I have repurchased this fragrance anywhere from 10 to 12 times. I've lost count because it has been in my collection a very long time. And the fragrance that I am speaking of is Scent of Peace for Her from the House of Bun number 9. Now, the Scent of Peace for Her, this is definitely an intimate scent. It is very close to skin. It is a freshie, of course, and it's just not that overly nuclear explosive type of fragrance. It is very intimate. It is very almost introverted. It's all about the person or the person that you may be in very close proximity to, that this matters, because they're not going to smell you before they see you. It's just not that type of fragrance. So this fragrance has fragrance notes of blackcurrant, grapefruit, lily of the valley, musk, ginger, and cedar. This fragrance, it just makes me feel happy. And sometimes with me and fragrances, there are times where I want to make a statement with my fragrance, but for the most part, it's about me. It's about what I smell, how it's making me feel, and it's just for a personal comfort. I buy fragrances for me. So because this fragrance is such an intimate fragrance, I would categorize it as an airy, aldehydic type of fragrance. And these fragrances are perfect for warm climates to hot. So this would be a perfect transitional fragrance moving into the summer as well. So if I could only pick one fragrance for the spring season of any year and would be comfortable wearing it the entire season, it would be Scent of Peace for Her from Bun number 9. Now, summer. All right, you guys. So when I think of summer, I think of hot to warm, natural heat. And to me, those type of elements, they're just exotic in my opinion. The bright skies and the warm to hot and sometimes sticky climate, they're like natural aphrodisiacs. So this fragrance, you guys, is one of the most sexiest fragrance in my collection. And I get so many compliments on it. And I would be happy and safe wearing this fragrance the entire season of summer to any occasion, even to work. All right, you guys. So the fragrance that I'm speaking of is Utopia Vanilla Coco 21 from the house of K.I. Lee. Mona girl, you did it when you did this one. This fragrance, it has notes of coconut milk, honeysuckle, pear blossom, Italian lemon, tuberose, gardenia, jasmine sambac, amberette, bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. Just all the right things. I'm gonna just take a pause. So the fragrance note says it all, right? All the goodness. Now, in this fragrance, you guys, the coconut milk, I love this coconut milk note. It's just different from any coconut that I have ever smelled in a fragrance. So I don't know if it's the milky like tonic component mixed in with the exotic coconuts that just have me just in awe about this fragrance. It is just so good. And it just screams, grown lady. This is just grown, sexy lady. I love this fragrance. This is one of my favorites from her house. But this fragrance, I would wear it anywhere. Date night. I wear it to work. Weddings. Travel. Islands. Wherever. It is so beautiful. So again, if I could only pick one fragrance for the season of summer and be happy with it, wearing it to any occasion, it would be the Utopia Vanilla Coco 21 from K.I. Lee. So the fragrance that I would choose, and this is new to my collection because it was just recently released, that I would choose to wear and be comfortable in wearing this fragrance the entire season of fall is Guidance from Amouage. You guys, if you know, you already know. This fragrance right here, it's nothing linear about it. The fragrance is extremely polarizing, you guys. I feel most people, they either like it or they don't. And what I'm noticing with some of the other content creators' commentary, this could be a little off-putting initially, but I do believe, and I've said this before, that there is a note or the combination of notes that is in this particular fragrance that was designed to become a very personal experience for each person that wears it. And I'm sure other perfumers have done this, because even with one of the most popular fragrances, although I know what it is whenever I smell it, but if I'm around that person for at least 4 or 5 minutes and smelling them, it starts to develop into something different from what I feel or experience when I'm wearing it. So this fragrance, I've only smelled it on one other person. I feel that this fragrance was designed to do the same or something very similar. So, like I said, this is a very polarizing fragrance, and it is one of those chameleon type of fragrances. It may do something totally different for each person that wears it. So the fragrance notes in this fragrance are pear, hazelnut, Albanian, osmanthus, rose, saffron, jasmine, sandbox, sandalwood, vanilla, akigali wood, ambergris, and labdaman. It's the akigali wood, in my opinion. I don't know much about akigali wood. It is a new fragrance note for me because it is in this and one of his other latest creations, which is the Valea. But this akigali wood, the note in here, it is so good. And akigali wood is a form of oud. It's some type of woody oud note, and it is so good. But this fragrance, you guys, this is an extremely sophisticated, just I didn't come to play type of fragrance. So it's nothing fruity, fun. It's a little floral in here, maybe a lot of floral, but it's nothing fruity or foo-la-la about this. This girl serves. And even with how you apply this fragrance, you see how small that dent is? You only need at least 4 squirts. 4 will take you through the entire day. Now, you can do more if you like, but 4 will take you through the entire day. But this is an absolute gorgeous fragrance. I've heard people say that they like it more in other seasons, and I do believe that this fragrance could stretch across a year. It could become a signature scent. So if I could only pick one from my collection to wear the entire season of fall, it would be Guidance by Amouage. So you guys, this concludes my only 4 you need. If you have any questions about any of the 4 fragrances that I shared with you that I did not cover here in this video, you can leave those questions in the comment section below. If you have any comments, pleasant please, any recommendations, or you just want to tell me what would be your only 4. Let's do that. So if you could only pick 4 fragrances, 1 per season, from your collection, please leave that in the comments below. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I greatly appreciate you, and do not forget that you, yes you are great. Bye-bye.